All right, we're here with one of my athletes, Jordan. Last year, a vital piece in him improving from 74 to 84 meters was his approach. So this year, we are also making some tweaks and continuing to try to smoothen that out. And so now we're gonna be highlighting some of the key aspects of his approach that are gonna get him even further than where he is now.
That's what we're talking about! Come on! Come on! Let's go!
All right, so a key aspect that we're going to add into this year's training is the importance of relaxation during the crossover. So we're out here in the grass field, Jordan's barefoot, and the key element of this is going to be small, but... So the key element is going to be smaller sub-maximal steps. So they're not going to be too big and powerful, but they're going to be on the balls of your feet, and we're going to be going a little bit longer than a normal crossover drill. So we're going to spread it out about 50 yards here. And the biggest element is going to be keeping his face relaxed, okay? If you watch the greats like Zelezny, they look very relaxed and are are breathing very finely during their running steps into their crossovers. So that's a very important element, is ball of foot contact, small bouncy rhythmic steps, keep the face relaxed. So the first one, we're just gonna run forward, just working on those running steps. All right, so right here, nice and bouncy, staying on the balls of his feet, just going forward, okay? Keeping his face super relaxed during these, working on his breathing. Same thing, coming back, nice and relaxed, keeping that face super, super relaxed, working on the breathing on the way back, keeping that posture nice and tall.
I played that shit off. I stepped on like fucking 10 rocks on that.
Really?
Yeah, dude, this fucking grass sucks.
You want to go this way?
Nah, I like it. Let's keep going.
All right.
I know where the rocks are now.
All right, so the next drill we're gonna be doing is that same thing, but we're going to add in a drawback. Okay, so we're gonna be running forward every third or fourth step. We're gonna draw back, do a couple crossovers, go back to the running steps, back to the crossovers, so on and so forth until we hit that 50-yard mark. Same idea here, we're working on, yes, having a crisp drawback. Jordan's a right-handed thrower, so we're using that left foot to set the cadence. But then from there, we're just really trying to keep that fully relaxed face throughout the entire thing and establishing really, really good rhythm. Yep, nice and smooth. Watch the left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw back on the fourth one, just like that. Okay. It's gonna depend what type of thrower you are. If you're really advanced, you'll go off of like 4 or 5 lefts. And then if you're a beginner, it might only be, 2 or 3.
So I get hyped for.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's work. Let's rock. Let's rock. Come on, get up. What? What?
Get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Small, bouncy, continuous. So right here, this is really, really continuing to work on these low-hanging fruits of not only the lower body, but the upper body as well. You could see here, we're working on ball of foot contact, staying really nice and light and bouncy on the feet and continuing to relax the face and work on your breathing. But also what you're working on is the upper body posture, keeping your eyes down the runway, keeping your arm up in the back, and making sure that if you have that fatigue in your right shoulder or your throwing arm shoulder, that this is letting you have a lot of reps and a lot of time under tension in this exercise to allow you to be able to build up the endurance and capacity in your throwing arm, so that when you're going down the runway and doing these approach drills, your arm's not sore from holding it in that upright position. You shouldn't be doing these drills feeling fatigued in the chest, the shoulder, and the lat, but that's something that a lot of people do experience because they don't practice it enough. Everyone wants to try to get strong in the weight room, but they neglect the aspect of being able to hold your arm up during a crossover drill. Easy, right?
Yeah, you give me 4 more.
All right, so what we got here is we got backwards crossovers.
No.
No, you do
it. Fine.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, gallops. All right, so what we got here is what we're doing is we're working on our penultimate. So with the penultimate, we're pulling down with the left foot as a right-handed thrower, pulling down with the left foot, sweeping across with the right, and that's our penultimate, right? So with these gallops, we're gonna do that same motion over and over and over again. We're gonna start small and get big. So big element here is pulling down the left foot, jumping forward essentially, that's the gallop, and then making sure that the back foot is crossing over the front foot, okay? So that front foot then turns into that block foot, right? So we're using that left to pull down, jumping forward, right comes across. So yeah, what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be starting small and getting larger towards the end. And we do about 10 to 12 of those. And then that should take us about the right distance that we're looking for here. Each athlete's gonna be different too. If you're a younger athlete who's not as big and tall and not producing as much force, you're not gonna cover as much ground as someone like Jordan, who is, 23 years old, strong, athletic, covers a lot of ground on each penultimate. So, his 10 or 12 might end up taking up more space than someone who's younger and not as experienced doing 10 or 12. All right, so now that we just finished with the barefoot relaxed approach drills in the grass, what we're gonna do is we're gonna progress to wearing some spikes and being on the track, okay? So another big thing that we're implementing here into Jordan's approach is a skip at the beginning of the running steps at the beginning of the approach. The reason why we're adding that skip is because a lot of times when you're starting from a standstill, fully not moving, and then going into full speed, a lot of times you will start to lean forward and become very quad dominant during your running. And then when you do your drawback, you have to draw back and you tilt your posture back, and then a lot of times that causes you to lean back too much during your crossovers into the penultimate, and that actually makes you miss the point of the javelin sometimes. So what we're doing is we're establishing this new skip into the beginning of Jordan's approach so that he could get up to speed a little quicker and a little bit more relaxed. Then when he's in his running steps, he doesn't have to worry about accelerating as much, and he's able to carry his speed through the end of his approach very effortlessly. All right, so what we're doing here is we're just getting the full approach now. We're getting it dialed in, getting used to, bringing a little bit more speed at the beginning of the approach and then into the crossovers. And then once he's comfortable there, going through some crossovers at a higher speed, we're gonna add some wickets in, and what that's gonna do is that's gonna allow him to start to feel picking his feet up a little bit more and gaining a little bit more distance with each crossover. So it's going to help him feel a little bit more natural, really trying to get his stride length a little bit longer and get used to carrying that speed, right? Because each wicket acts as a target to get over. And so sometimes when you don't have that target to get over in practice, you could get a little lazy with your steps and it's hard to gauge. But using this throughout the off season allows the athlete to get used to taking a bigger step and having those bigger crossovers, which in the end is going to allow you to be faster and more powerful through the crossovers and ultimately lead to a bigger, more powerful throw.
Nice.
Actually, let's just film the outro now too, so we don't have to worry about it. All right, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe for more content just like this.